What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the First Yard. Hope you guys are having a good day today. So today we're going to be doing a little bit more fantasy football predictions, and we're going to be talking about Odell Beckham Jr. and if you should trade him, keep him, cut him, and yeah. So with that said, if you do like this type of stuff, please do hit that subscribe button. I do talk a lot of fantasy football, and Madden, and hit that like button. Comment down below what else you want me to talk about. And with that said, Odell Beckham Jr., extremely good wide receiver. I would say he's still in his prime. I don't know why people are saying he's out of his prime. He did not have a great season last year, but he did have Freddie Kitchens, and Freddie Kitchens didn't really know what he was doing and how to use his weapons. So in 2019, Odell Beckham had 1,035 yards, 4 touchdowns, still had 1,000 yards, which is good, but his touchdowns definitely did hit a pretty big decrease, especially from 2014 to 2016 when Odell Beckham averaged at least 10 touchdowns to 2019 when he only had 4. I think that's really just shown how Freddie Kitchens didn't know how to use Odell Beckham. So obviously the Browns have a brand new head coach named Kevin Stefanski. In week 1, the Browns did not do great. They did get kind of waxed by the Baltimore Ravens, and to be honest, I kind of did expect that because the Ravens were a Super Bowl contender last year. They're going to be even better going into this year. They could possibly win the Super Bowl this year. And Baker Mayfield didn't have a great year last year. This year, he has another new offensive scheme, offensive playbook that he's going to have to learn. So week 1, he didn't do well. This is, once again, since 2020 is happening right now, coronavirus, the NFL teams have not had the usual preparation that they've been able to have in the past. So Baker Mayfield is kind of just trying to learn off the fly, much like Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and he's really just having to kind of wing it out there, especially in week 1. Now, week 2, he did much better. Kevin Stefanski really did show off his play action skills with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield did throw a bomb to Odell Beckham, an absolute dime for a touchdown. Odell got me 15 points last week, so it was really, really good for Odell, and that's what I really expect us to see going into the future. Now, obviously, Odell and Baker Mayfield haven't had the best connection. They didn't really build great chemistry in 2019. 2020, I see differently, just because Baker Mayfield, this is really the year that Baker Mayfield has to prove himself, and if he's going to have to prove himself, he's going to have to throw the ball deep to Odell Beckham, his best wide receiver. So, going into probably week 3, week 4, we could probably see Odell Beckham's fantasy football numbers go up. I'm not sure if I would start him every single week starting at the beginning of the year, just because Odell Beckham is, once again, working with Baker Mayfield, who is also trying to learn the playbook. So Odell Beckham didn't see a lot of targets. I expected that. He probably won't see a lot of targets going into probably week 3, week 4. But, getting into the middle of the NFL season, coronavirus dependent, I really do see Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham really start clicking together. I see Odell really starting to build up his fantasy football points, receptions, and yards. And so going into week probably 5 and 6, I would start putting Odell Beckham into, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1. I would not trade him because Odell Beckham is probably going to have one of the best years that he's had in, at least 2 to 3 years. And he's still in his prime. That's the main thing. Odell Beckham is still in his prime, and there's absolutely no reason to get rid of him unless you obviously want somebody who is, better. I traded Mike Evans for Odell Beckham, so I'm thinking it's going to work out, especially since Odell seems healthy. He seems fired up, so he could really be in a great situation right now, depending on if he's not going to get traded. And even then, regardless if Odell gets traded or not, I really do see Odell Beckham thriving in his new offensive system, because top contenders are the 49ers and the Patriots. Now, obviously, with the Patriots got Randy Moss after Randy Moss was with the Raiders, and Randy Moss had, one of the best numbers in his career with the Patriots. The same thing could happen to Odell Beckham. Odell is the same type of, crazy aggressive catch wide receiver, especially with that speed. So going into this year, I would definitely keep Odell Beckham, start him in the slide, when with pretty bad teams going into week 3, week 4, week 5, and then going into the middle of the season, I would actually start putting Odell Beckham at wide receiver 1 and 2.